Good morning, dreamers. Welcome back to Team Lucid Dream. It is a Thursday with me, Max. Okay, so today's dream vlog is from quite a few years ago, and it was probably my first proper wild. I was staying over at my partner's parents' house, and I always find that if I'm sleeping in a different bed than my own, I kind of struggle to sleep properly. So during the morning I was kind of really struggling to fall back asleep once I'd woken up, and it ended up being quite beneficial really, because it helped me achieve my first proper wild. I could feel myself sort of wavering in and out of sleep, and sleep paralysis kicked in pretty quick. I didn't panic, which is what I would normally do. I just laid still and tried to focus on all the colours behind my eyelids. I was struggling a bit, so I decided what I would do is I would try and envision my hands in front of me. Pretty quickly I noticed sort of a blue outline of my hands behind my eyelids, and I just kept focused on that. Suddenly I heard a woman's voice telling me that I was almost there, and with that a scene started forming behind my hands. It became much more vivid and much more in focus, but I kept staring at my hands until I felt I was completely in the dream. Once the scene had formed fully, I noticed that I was stood next to a motorway, and there were sort of lots of green fields and just a lot of nature around. I look to my left and I see the woman who was speaking to me. She's probably about 5 foot, she has electric blue hair and pigtails, and she's wearing one of those white karate robes, which I always forget what they're called. Anyway, she congratulates me on getting lucid, and she tells me that I am ready now to continue with the dream. She takes me into a small building at the side of the road, and in there it is all tiled. It sort of reminds me of a swimming pool kind of changing room. It's very humid and it has that sort of chlorine smell to it. She's trying to speak to me, but I am distracted by this little creature I see on the floor to my right. It kind of looks like a squirrel. Actually, it kind of looks like, you know in Ice Age, that squirrel thing that's always trying to get the nut? It looked like that. And even though this woman was trying to instruct me on how to stabilise my dream, I was more interested in the squirrel. She took me over to the wall and told me to feel it and to describe what it was that I was feeling. As I said, it was a tiled wall, and it was quite humid in there. I mean, the tiles were sort of quite sweaty. You know when you get sweaty tiles? It was a sweaty tiled room, and I was trying to describe to her what was going on, but again, this squirrel thing was kind of running around, and I was more focused on that than the woman. It started tapping at the tiles, and it gave me this look, and I just impulsively punched the wall, and with that it opened up a tunnel. The squirrel thing dashed through, and the woman kind of looked at me a little bit pissed off that I'd ignored her. But at the same time, she congratulated me on having some initiative. We crawl through this tunnel that I've made, and on the other side is this really beautiful Chinese garden. There's this little house to the right, and there are a lot of people kind of coming and going from this house, and I remember there being just lots of really colourful plants around, and it was generally just like a really nice setting. The woman says to me, okay, well now we need to focus. But you know, the squirrel has still got my attention, he's running around, he's kind of like telling me to follow him, and I'm more inclined to follow him than I am to stick around with this girl. She kind of gives me a warning and says that if I ignore her and go follow the squirrel, my dream isn't going to last very long. And I kind of shrug it off and I leave her and I follow the squirrel, and as she said, the dream pretty much fell apart very, very quickly. I lost awareness pretty much instantly, the kind of vividness of the dream faded. I'm not sure if I ended up in a non-lucid dream or if the dream completely finished. Now, when I woke up properly and analysed the dream, I realised that there was a very important lesson here. These two characters were pretty much two sides to the same coin. The girl, who I dubbed Discipline, and the squirrel, which I dubbed Disorder. When it comes to lucid dreaming, you need to kind of follow some rules, and that is what Discipline was trying to tell me. She was making sure that I had stabilised the dream, she was making sure that I was aware. When she got me to touch the wall, she was getting me to interact with my senses other than just sight and sound. And Disorder was more about the creative side, and I think he was more about the fun of just, you know, letting loose and just enjoying the dream. You know, he got me to smack a hole through the wall, and that led to a new scene. And I try and remember this lesson with lucid dreaming. There needs to be a balance between discipline and disorder. You need to have fun, you need to let loose, you need to do, you know, you need to explore and stuff like that. But at the same time, you kind of need to know how to stabilize a dream. You need to know how to anchor yourself to the dream. You need to know what works for you to ensure that you don't lose awareness or lose lucidity. So there you go, that is my tale of discipline and disorder. I'd really love to hear from anybody about their dream characters. Dream characters absolutely fascinate me. So feel free to leave any comments below. Tell me all about your dream characters. Hit that like button, guys, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video with all your friends. Come over to our forum at teamluciddream.com. Don't forget we have our Twitter and Facebook page, and we have a Q&A on Friday with Gio, so don't forget to leave any questions for him. Okay guys, it has been fun. I'll see you in the next video.